In the top stories, SKN AVIC instructor one of three for solar PV certification training. Protests erupt in Havana as Cuba faces widespread blackouts amid Hurricane Oscar, and indigenous senator confronts King Charles during visit to Australian Parliament. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Monday, October 21st, 2024. I'm Scotticia Hendrickson. Nationally, Green Solutions International SKN Incorporated, or GSI, after the recent launch of the Caribbean Center for Research, Innovation and Workforce Training, has made another mark in the Caribbean. This time, they have partnered with the Barbados Water Authority to offer cutting-edge NABCEP certification training in solar PV systems. The 5-day training program at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus was designed to equip participants with critical skills in solar energy technologies, positioning them to lead Barbados's and the region's green energy solutions. Among the program's instructors is Gregory Francis, a past GSI and NABCET certified student. Gregory, a trained solar PV expert and instructor at the Advanced Vocational Education Center, or AVIC, in St. Kitts, traveled to Barbados to share the knowledge gained from his training. The training covered a wide range of topics from PV basics, system sizing, testing, and installation practices to advanced operation and maintenance, or O&M techniques, leaving each participant with the required skills and certification needed to build, operate, and maintain PV solar systems. The program also included hands-on experience with real-world solar technology through the use of labs and gave participants the chance to apply their learning through tours at two of Barbados's largest solar installations. Randy Doughton, senior solar PV system design engineer and project developer, and Nick Matthews, electrician and instructor from Arizona and Wisconsin, USA, respectively, led many of these sessions, offering practical guidance on system diagnostics, battery integration, and troubleshooting. As the training progressed throughout the region, Archibald hopes that, like Gregory Francis, more participants will continue to aspire not only as students to instructors, but as a success story of how education can lead to new opportunities and partnership in a rapidly evolving industry. The GSI and NABCET certification program, in partnership with the Barbados Water Authority, continued throughout the week of October 14th to 19th, 2024, with participants set to complete their final certifications by the end of the course. The St. Kitts Water Services Department has announced an interruption in water supply for residents of Cayon due to an unexpected issue currently under investigation. The problem has resulted in low water levels in areas, tanks, impacting the department's ability to maintain regular water supply. The Water Service Department has assured the public that its team is working diligently to resolve the situation as swiftly as possible. The department expressed appreciation for the community's understanding and patience during this time and pledged to provide updates as more information becomes available. Meanwhile, Boyd's View will also be without water, according to the Water Service Department, due to a break in the water disruption line in the area. The water team is working to restore services by 1 p.m. The department apologizes for the inconvenience caused. For further updates, residents are encouraged to follow the Water Services Department's Facebook page or visit water.gov.kn or mopieUDT.gov.kn. The St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited, or SKELEC, is advising the public of scheduled maintenance outages for this week to perform necessary maintenance to improve reliability. On Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Camps Village will experience power outages, while Mofil and Phillips's Village will be without power from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. On Wednesday, St. Christopher's Club and the Frigate Bay Strip from Shiggity Shack to Vibes Beach Bar will be out of power from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Capistair housing project on the opposite end of the island will be without power from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now for regional news. Cuba's eastern coast is reeling from widespread blackouts as Hurricane Oscar brought heavy rains and fierce winds, adding to the island's power crisis. In Havana's Santo Ceres neighborhood, frustration boiled over a resident protested, banging pots and pans in the streets after enduring 3 nights without electricity. Mary Calla, a mother of 3, voiced her despair, quote, "Our food is rotting. 4 days without electricity is an abuse to the children," end quote. Many residents also reported no access to water, further compounding the crisis. Energy Minister Vincent de la Levy said power could be restored by Monday or Tuesday, but acknowledged the hurricane's impact on key power plants in the eastern region. While Oscar weakened to a tropical storm, its lingering effects have complicated recovery efforts. The failure of the Antonio Guterres power plant on Friday triggered the outage, worsening an already fragile energy grid. Many parts of Havana remain in darkness, and residents are restoring to makeshift wood stoves or to cook before their food spoils. Quote, "I am reaching a point of desperation," said Yelenis de Cardina, a mother of a 7-year-old girl. The government has introduced emergency measures, suspending schools and shutting down state-owned workplaces to conserve energy. Long lines formed at bakeries as residents like Rosa Rodriguez waited for bread. Quote, "We have millions of problems and none are solved," Rodriguez lamented. With offers of international aid from Mexico, Colombia, and Russia, Cuba faces a slow recovery as Hurricane Oscar and the blackouts continue to wreak havoc across the island. Meanwhile, several neighborhoods in Port-au-Prince, Haiti were attacked by gangs on Saturday, prompting a mass exodus of residents. Gunfire erupted throughout the night, and although no official casualty numbers were immediately released, the violence is reignited concerns about the government's control over the capital. Haiti's police union warned that continued attacks, particularly in Solino and Nazan areas, could result in gangs taking over the entire city. Quote, "No government will remain if this insecurity isn't reduced," the union cautioned. Thursday's violence left at least 1 woman dead, and attacks spread across other districts, including St. Michael and Tabre 27. Authorities are struggling to contain the situation as gang influence grows, with over 80% of the city now under gang control. In response to the ongoing crisis, a UN-backed mission led by Kenyan police has deployed troops to help local authorities. The first batch of soldiers from the Bahamas has arrived, marking an international effort to curb the violence. Tensions in Port-au-Prince have continued to rise as the attacks come just days after Haitian-Kenyan police operations killed 20 suspected gang members in an area controlled by the notorious 400 Mazu gang. The situation remains dire, and the international community is closely monitoring the security collapse in Haiti's capital. In international news, during King Charles III's visit to Australia's Parliament, Indigenous Senator Lydia Thorpe loudly confronted the monarch, claiming that the island was not his and accusing British colonizers of genocide. Thorpe, who was escorted out of the outburst, demanded the return of indigenous artifacts and a treaty, saying, quote, "This is not your land. You are not my king," end quote. King Charles remained composed, speaking privately with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. The incident reignited Australia's ongoing debate about its ties to the British monarchy. Charles, who is visiting Australia for the first time as king, acknowledged Indigenous peoples in his address, expressing respect for their culture and contributions. This marks his 17th visit to Australia as the country continues to grapple with discussions around republicanism. In other international news, 3 major tobacco companies, Philip Morris International, JTI McDonald Corp., and Imperial Tobacco Canada Limited, have reached a settlement worth nearly $24 billion in Canada, bringing an end to extensive legal battles over tobacco-related health claims. The proposed deal, which follows years of mediation, was announced by Philip Morris International and involves a comprehensive payout plan to various Canadian provinces, territories, and individuals affected by tobacco use. Philip Morris International's Canadian affiliate, Rothmans, Benson and Hedges, welcomed the agreement. CEO Jacqueline Alzac called it an important step towards resolving long-standing litigation, which began with a 2019 court ruling in Cuba that held tobacco companies responsible for misleading consumers about the risk of smoking. The companies had sought creditors' protection after the ruling, but were working toward a broader settlement. Under the terms of the settlement, Canadian provinces and territories will receive a total of $2.48 billion Canadian dollars to support healthcare systems and fund tobacco-related healthcare programs. Class action members will receive $4.25 billion, while Canadian victims from provinces outside Quebec will receive $2.5 billion. Additionally, over $1 billion will be allocated to a foundation dedicated to fighting tobacco-related diseases, including $1.31 million from Quebec plaintiffs' share. This settlement aims to address the healthcare costs associated with smoking-related illnesses, while also providing compensation to victims and supporting long-term public health initiatives. It marks a significant development in the ongoing effort to hold tobacco companies accountable for the impact of their products. The funds will help offset the cost of treating illnesses caused by smoking and contribute to reducing future tobacco-related harm in Canada. And now for the weather. Present weather is cloudy skies with showers in the vicinity. The temperature today is 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are east-southeast at 10 to 18 miles per hour. Seas are 1.2 to 1.8 meters or 4 to 6 feet. The weather forecast for today predicts cloudy spells with a 60% or moderate chance of showers this morning, with a decreasing chance of showers this afternoon. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of brief showers. Sunset today will be at 5:45 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:06 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Scotty Sia Hendrickson.